Welcome to the Takeout Effect. I'm your guest. I'm your host. My name is Banki. The Takeout Effect brings real conversation in business. Today's guest is Andrae Walsh. He is an entrepreneur. He is an actor, a producer. He does some directing. Andre, can you say hello to the audience and let them know more about who you are?
What's up, people? What's up, family out here? It's your boy. My friends call me Dre. I'm also known as Dre. Um, yeah. Welcome to the conversation. I'm a film producer. I'm a actor. I tell stories. I'm also a community developer, youth worker. Um, I try to enhance the value of our everyday life in our communities, in the Black diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Also, I'm an entrepreneur. I dibble and dabble in different businesses because I know that we need multiple streams of income to gain wealth. So that's a short span of what I do. I'm sure we're gonna get more into it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I have a large range. I have a big range of things that I do, but most of it is centered around entertainment and community development.
Yes, and we will definitely get into that to really know more in detail about every different thing, different aspects of different things that you do. Um, let's start off. There's an echo. I'm wondering if it's on my end or your end.
I think it's not on my end.
Okay, we'll just work with it.
I cut out all the sounds around me. No sound.
All right. So, who is Andrae Walsh or Dre? I call you Dre, but government name is Andre.
The government called me Andre. You know what I'm saying? Who am I? Okay, very eclectic, very diverse, not what you see.
Yeah.
And I've been able to take advantage of that in my life. So I'm a Black man, from a single parent home, from a low income community, that had a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I had a dream, and I chased my dream, and it expanded off into so much different branches of opportunity and experience. So yeah, like I could not tell you who I am in one setting. You know what I mean? You need like 5 documentaries to get to know who I am.
Yeah. No, that's true because there's so many different things that you do.
Yeah.
Let's start with university. You went to university, you did fine arts. Did you do anything else?
Yeah, well, my university experience is it's just the academic experience of a Black man trying to get through, And I say Black man trying to get through because my first university experience was at University of Toronto, and I went as a mature student to the transitional year program. Shout out transitional year program. They put a lot of people that didn't have access to university in university, and they graduated as geniuses doing all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I went through the program, and I took film and Caribbean studies.
Nice.
And the thing was while I was taking first year film at University of Toronto, I had a short film in the Real World Film Festival, and doing the film festival round. So me personally, I the experience I had with the professor at U of T was that he's a hater hated on the boy because I had something going on in the film festival, and he was just teaching. You know what I'm saying? That's why you give somebody a 49 in a course in university, So, I mean, 60 is a fail, but, 49 is like, you almost did it. You know what I mean? So I encountered a lot of that type of racism inside the academic world. And I have my children. I have my son. He's 12 now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, when my son was born, I was done with university. I left. I left with 1 year left in an honors bachelor at University of Toronto, and then some years later, um, I got a scholarship from doing the community development stuff because I'm
Mm-hmm.
always in the community doing arts.
Yeah,
I love
that's one thing you
entertainment,
know.
right? So I had a theater group. Shout out No
Mm-hmm.
Man's Land. No Man's Land was a theater group that was created for youth in the Jane and Finch community to be able to come because Lane was beefing with Driftwood, and there was no safe space. So No Man's Land became a safe space at the York Woods Library, and that theater group kind of saved my life. You know what I mean? Because I was all over the place after my son and my daughter, and then breaking up with the mother. I was all over the place. So definitely, No Man's Land, the theater group saved my life. And from that theater group, I was seen and discovered different aspects. So I ended up getting a scholarship to York. So there's a thing called community arts practice. And it was a new
Mm-hmm.
program that they brought in, and because I had all these credits from U of T, they also I did some speaking in a couple different courses as well, like the criminology course because of my experience with the industry and the Toronto's hip hop police. So I spoke with the criminology course about like Regent Park and you know Tilt Rock Records, and then I also got some extra credits for doing that. So that all culminated with that community arts practice certificate as a degree. You know,
Nice.
so that was the university, and shout out to all the black women on the campus. You know what I'm saying, that shout me out when I walk through, because they happy to see a brother on campus doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Fiona said, you saved your life because to took advantage of the community resources. So yeah.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I think just coming from Regent Park, being downtown, and being like, there was a lot of programs in Regent Park. I remember having a lot of programs, and the like when I look at my generation coming out of Regent Park, and then I look at like um, other generations in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Let's say
Mm-hmm.
Rexdale, for instance.
Yeah.
Compared to Regent Park, Rexdale has like not many
Yeah.
programs. Not many programs. I was able to, when I was 14, I was at Regent Park Focus, which gave me the entertainment bug, the media bug. I got to write in Regent Park's newspaper called Catch the Flavor. I was a writer in that. You know what I mean? I was on Regent Park's radio station. We actually created Regent Park Radio in '94, and that
Mm-hmm.
was on CKLN. And you know what I mean? So I got all these experiences with media just in my neighborhood, and that doesn't happen in many other neighborhoods in the city.
That's true, because that type of resources, from what I recall, wasn't in Rexdale when I was growing up.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Going into, because you mentioned raised by a single mom, and you also mentioned a lot of community work that you've done. One thing I do know about you is that you did a lot of youth mentorship. Can you go into details about your experience in that field?
Well, so again, because I'm from Regent Park and I came up on all these programming, I was really deep embedded in the in kind of doing giving back what was given to me, you know.
Nice.
And I got into like planning and designing programs, and I'm writing grants, and
Mhm.
so I started first. My first nonprofit organization was when I was 18. Shout out Mike Stone, DJ Mike Stone, Tisha, um,
Mm-hmm.
David. Like, there's a whole bunch of young bucks that were with us when me, Mike, and Tisha created For Unity Productions. It was an audio video studio on top of Missouri County Community Center in Parkdale, and we taught youth how to DJ, how to record, how to do video. You know, shout out a lot of the people that we helped out.
Yes, Fiona said you made the decision to walk into the doors and stuck with it because that is the hardest decision is the first step. Sometimes resources is not what's lacking, but getting the youth to join. So that's pretty much what she said. And awesome.
Yo, listen, she's facts, because that what she said just reminds me of, okay, so when I was so I there's an organization called Micro Skills. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming up in the ranks, I kind of dropped out of high school, and but it was like Micro Skills was the reason I ended up going back to the transitional year program and doing all, because I was like I said, at 18 I started my own my own nonprofit organization. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I was ahead of my time, so I was trying to get jobs after in the nonprofit sector, because they're having symposiums to pick my brain. They want to see, how did you do that For Unity thing? What was the blah blah blah? So why don't you give me a job? And they said, you know what they kept saying? We're looking for somebody with a university degree.
Yeah.
We're looking for, oh, it
So,
seems like you don't have the credentials. So I was like, if I can get these credentials, I'm gonna go get them. So, anyways, university's done. The U of T and the York is done, and
mm-hmm.
I ended up getting a job at Micro Skills in Rexdale. I was in the Dixon and Islington community. You know what I'm saying? Shout out all my Somali brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? The experience was great. I got tasked with a program that was probably the hardest program. Nobody wanted this program, and it was the entrepreneurship program. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people wanted the entrepreneurship program for 18 to 30-year-olds. You know what I mean? But I had to take on the high school entrepreneurship. And
Yeah.
the program, the thing with this program was they gave this program to many organizations all over Ontario. But we was the one in the hoods. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we go to a big meeting, and all the, like, there's a Barrie group, there's an Ottawa group, there's a group from St. Catharines, and all these rural programs are doing great. Their high school kids are starting businesses, and everybody in the community is supporting the kids' businesses, and they're off and running. And I just instead of trying to keep up with them, I just had to compartmentalize our successes. And I'll tell you right now, the first success was youth in our community understanding what the word entrepreneurship means.
Nice.
And it was so basic, but that step seeing that step took the whole program to another level. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to put my success stories and my parameters at the same level as those white groups parameters. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is why I say white, because there's a cultural aspect to the way we deal with business and the way we deal with each other, right? And I learned that at university. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the way we look at how one group does business and the way we look at another group doing business. The thing is the only thing that separates is culture, because business is the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if one group's doing better than the other, there has to be a reason.
Yes.
And that's what we began to explore in my group. That one of my youth from that program actually just graduated from Centennial College.
Nice.
And it's I'm so proud of them, you know, because I think it was like 2015, 2004, 2015. There's a lot of shootings going on that summer. There's a lot of gang stuff kicking off, and this you could have been involved. Like he could have been, he was in the mix, and he he had a passion, and he chose. Like all he did was learn what entrepreneurship is, the meaning of entrepreneurship, risk taker,
Yes.
and that's it. He's like, oh what? I take risk every day. I take risk because I come out my house. Police are gonna get me. The ops like to come around my neighborhood and shoot up the neighborhood for no reason. Like once he balanced that, he's like, holy. He started buying cell phones and selling cell phones. You know. So yeah,
And
like
that's
that.
it,
That's
right? It takes you have to be driven, and it takes just one person to inspire you to really take things to another level. And I think you did that, which was great.
yes, yes, yes. That was great. And so yeah, the community aspect is really close to my heart because I know I wouldn't be here without youth workers, male role models in the community that cared about other young men, other and women too, you know what I'm saying? But I can't show a young woman how to be a woman, but I
That's
can show a young man how to be a man. And rites of passage is basically what I'm it's my solution to our young man problem. I don't have a solution to the young woman problem, but the young man problem, right? I'm sure rites of passage for females, you know what I'm saying?
yes.
But for men, because right now our youth have a warped idea of what manhood is, and that warped idea is to the likes of like, oh yeah, you can't survive doing a year in the pen. Um, and the reality is manhood should be like you can't survive living a year in the forest with nothing but a knife. You know what I'm saying? Or the
Mhm.
jungle, or the Sahara, or you know the Arctic. I don't know, but survive in nature, not survive in some man-made, created space where you know you're socially um deviant with other males. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what jail is. You know what I'm saying? You learn bad habits in there. I mean, some good habits. Some guys come out of jail with all kind of manners. Just excuse me, thank you, good morning, good morning. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I know you're gonna get to those
That
comments.
community support is so crucial to our success of our youth. Mentorship is so important. So I think what was amazing about your experience is that you were mentored growing up, and you were able to pay it forward and mentor others, and you were able to see the success of others graduating under your mentorship, which is amazing.
But I also seen the negative side to that, where you know, talk to this youth, talk to this youth, talk to this youth, and he still want to be a bad man, gangster, whatever you saw in the video. And then a couple years later, because you know what, this kid, I'm just gonna say, give you a little breakdown. This kid, I'm in the streets, I'm in the hood, like I'm a figure out here. I'm not a gangster. I'm not, but you know, anybody can bother me. You understand? So when I talk to some of these youths, you know, they listen, but others, like you know, when I'm working for the establishment, like microskills, you know, I'm like, why aren't you staying to finish your homework? Why are you running to go with these guys to go do whatever? And he's not hearing me. And I say, come on, man. And he's like, yo, you're touching me, eh? You're touching me. Like, I'll get you fired. I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to help you out. So now, fast forward 2 years, and shout out Think Twice. Working with Think Twice, I end up going into the prison system. There's a program, you go into the pen, do Black History Month, they do some different aspects with the pen timers. And lo and behold, who do I see in the pen? The same, yo, I'll get you fired. Same kid, doing 5 years in the pen now. for following. And
Mm.
with me now, and he didn't respect me because I had a job. I wasn't, the guy that was in the hood giving him drugs and guns to sell and stuff like that. That's who he respected, right? And now he's in the pen. And the funny thing is he's in the pen with guys who I grew up with, and they're now doing life. And he's doing it for 5 years. So now these guys in the pen are finding out that he was in my program and he didn't listen to me. There's no more tough guy.
Yeah.
There's no more tough guy in there. When a man who's doing life knows you have opportunity to be free and you're taking dumb chances. So yeah. That was a good vibe for me because I feel like that I witnessed the youth feeling the karma, because he's the same youth that was saying that to other kids, like, you can't do that here on my head. I'll do that here on my head top spinning.
Yeah, people think it's easy in there, but it's really a place you don't want to go.
It's not the new black.
It's not. It's not.
Orange is not the new black. Let me say that, just in case people see like that. But yeah, youth working was great, but one thing I had to ease off the youth work in the nonprofit sector, because one thing I realized is these youth don't respect. They only respect success and disrespect. They respect disrespect and they respect success. So youth work in the hood is not seen as success.
Exactly. So you started FAMTV. When did I was thinking 2018.
Yeah, it's 2017 to be exact, just because that's the year that Microskills went bankrupt. And I'm talking, thank God for my passion once more. My passion saved me from following gangs. My passion saved me from doing like jumping into parts that would have been detrimental to my soul later on, because I was offered parts in TV shows and main stage plays, Mervis Productions, gay roles and crackhead roles, and you know what I'm saying. And I definitely turned those roles down at the time, because I was a young buck just getting woke, and I was like, even though Maestro Fresh West kind of gave up a lot of opportunities after he won the Grammy, but I always respected him, because after he won the Grammy, they were gonna make him be some jail guy in some movie, and he turned it down. And I guess he kind of got blackballed from the film industry over there because he turned that down after winning a Grammy, And that's, so what? Like, he's still who he is right now. He's doing his acting same way, right? So that kind of inspired me. That inspired me to be able to turn down roles that I didn't want to do, And now my passion saved me again, because I was at Microskills, but I knew that these kids didn't respect the youth work that I'm doing, and they respect entertainment, they respect rappers, and I've done all this already. Much Music Video Awards, Junos. I've done all this already. So let me see what I can do. Jump back into the game, So shout out my brother Bigley, the one and only. He came to me, and we will always be talking about black stuff, black thought, black power, black da 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 da. And then when the cops started killing, when the security guard killed the youth, what's his name? It's so long ago now. The Skittles in the hoodie in Florida. What's that kid's name?
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin. That's when Bigley was like, "Yo, we gotta be fearless. We gotta be fearless." And we were already studying the African stuff. And shout out to Sinetta TV. He inspired me a lot. If you know Sinetta TV, it's a lot of black power stuff in Harlem. He did some debates and stuff. He inspired me a lot. So we came up with Fearless African Movement, and then we were saying Fearless African Movement, and somebody's like, "Yo, fam, what you saying, fam? You doing it like that, fam?" It's like that. That's fam. It's family. It just made so much sense. And when you're creating a business, it has to mean something to you. You have to have some type of connection to your purpose.
I was going to get to that, because on YouTube you mention it as tuning in the global African family into one frequency?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of my studies. My studies led me to find out that, like, pretty much every melanated person on the planet originates from the same place. Every person on the planet originates from the same place, but then finding out the whole rule of Europeans and melanated people all over the world are being treated the same way, and the divide and conquer and the tribalism and all these things came together to be like, you know what? I from like I'll tell you right now. I'll tell everybody out here. I've had a life plan since I was 8 years old. You ever seen Home Alone? The guy puts out the paper and it's the plan of how he's going to get the criminals.
Yes.
I had a plan like that since I was 8 years old, and I'm turning 41 this summer. And according to my life plan, since 8 years, I'm supposed to be like buying like a couple satellites that are launching into the atmosphere right now, so that I can control some type of communications and be my channel all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm just trying to explain to you, I've had this dream since I was a kid to control media and pump the truth to my people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just had this banner made, this same banner. What 2017. It's all right. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's clean still. Try to keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? But I had this banner made in January. I think I paid like 5 bills to my brother from Blake Street. You know what I'm saying? You know who you is. I bought this the day it got delivered to my house. I picked it up. I went and picked it up. That was a Monday. We had the Tuesday, a Microskills calls an emergency meeting. I bought this, and I also bought a camera. I bought a new camera. It was state of the art at that time, which is not. It's turned down right now. So you know how the camera business goes. So that was Monday. The Wednesday emergency meeting. Everybody leave the office because Microskills had 3 locations. What nonprofit organization has 3 locations throughout the city? Brampton, Rexdale, and Scarborough. And they called us all to the Scarborough location and said, "Today's your last day, guys. We went bankrupt. Sorry. Bye. We ain't got no money, no packages, nothing."
Yeah, that's rough. Because now you just have to survive.
I was like, did I just start my business? And you trying to clown me? I just started laughing, and I called a couple rappers, and I said, "Hey, brother, got a new camera. Do a video for you for 5 bills." And that kept me going for like 2 months. And then by that time, a little thing caught on, and I was rolling.
Nice.
FAMTV was in effect, and it was like when they say God, God will provide. God will provide.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Just enough. Not for you to go party and buy bottles. You know what I'm saying? But yo, your rent's paid. You know what I'm saying? Food in the fridge, kids that eat. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great move for me. I'm like thankful that I had that passion. Or else, because I mean, there were some people who like are just workers, and everything, their plans were all based on like 5-10 paychecks ahead. You know what I'm saying? So when there's no more paychecks, it's like, yeah, crying, depression, don't know what to do.
So moving forward to 2019, you did a Back to Africa tour, a Ghana tour. You went back to Ghana?
Yeah, I don't want to call it a tour because I didn't go on a tour. What I did, I planned a tour while I was there, but I did a pilgrimage.
Okay.
And I say pilgrimage because I felt like a Muslim going back to Mecca, a Jew going back to Israel, can't have felt better than I felt going back to Ghana. The number one So all this stuff, all this studying, all this going to lectures, shooting, and that's another thing. I started getting work in the with the conscious community, the lectures, people bringing up the lectures. I became synonymous with, you know, being the media, the black media at black lectures, focused lectures, you know. So that helped me out financially as well, and
Nice.
notoriety. And I forgot what I was gonna say.
What was it like in Africa? What was that experience like for you? I
Okay.
would love to go there. I've never been. Born in Trinidad, lived in Grenada, came to Canada. Would love to go to Africa. You've been there. Tell us
Okay.
about it.
I'm gonna say to all those who've been in the Caribbean, have experience in the Caribbean, I'm gonna say that the theme of my trip was Jamaica. Ghana is like Jamaica on steroids.
Nice.
So I'm sure it's like Grenada on steroids, and like Trinidad on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, after you do the studying and then you go there, that's the best part, because I can see what I surmised through my studies. My eyes behold it. The phenotypes, the facial structures, the jaw configurations, the head shapes. You know what I'm saying? Like the twins, the twins. Like I'm like, you got a twin there. Like I almost tap people on the shoulder because I'm like, no way this guy's here. What are you doing? It's not him. It's his ancestral cousin. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the culture, the atmosphere, the attitudes, the vibe. It's like I'm not gonna say take out all the negative, all the because you can see that it's the difference between Ghana and Jamaica is slavery, enslavement, and what enslavement has done, right? The good thing that comes out of of enslavement and the persecution and all that hardship is that we got stuff like reggae music, soca, calypso. We got you know, spirituals. These are things that we created to keep ourselves up.
Yes.
In under the foot of the man. So and you can see that in Ghana. You can see, number one, they respect it. I mean, I didn't see any Trinidadian flags, but in Ghana, every taxi has a Jamaican flag in it, in the window, like in the wind. It's like a thing, and they know you're Jamaican, and they don't pronounce the J. Yamaica. You know what I'm saying? Here's another thing is, the Maroons, Nanny Town Maroons, the Wayward Maroons, they still to this day speak Ashanti. And that's the Ashanti is the main tribe in Ghana, you know. Another fact that it's just like the connection between Ghana and Jamaica is so crazy, so real. The Ashanti flag, that was created like thousands of years ago, is the same colors as the Jamaican flag.
Nice. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, you Google the Ashanti flag, and then you'll see the connection between Ghana and Jamaica. It's the same people. If you know about Nanny of the Maroons, there's so much hidden knowledge. And I'm so happy I went to university. Shout out U of T, shout out New College, shout out Professor Edward Twaru, Guyanese man. He put the fire in me with the real knowledges, like some real hidden truths that you know, Black Panther, the movie, like it just incited the Killmonger. Because like, yeah, you guys, it's like it's hard to say without offending people, but it's like we did it to ourselves kind of because of that, the whole enslavement, slave, the confusion with the word slave. In Africa, in those times, in the 1300s, 1200s, 1400s, they like slave meant servant. You know what I'm saying? Slave in the Caribbean, they still do it. In Africa, they still do it to this day. You have family that lives in the country, and you get rich, or you get a good job, and you move to the city. You have a nice house. Your cousin in the country has 5 kids. You say, all right, send your big daughter to live with me. Your big daughter is at your house. She's the maid. She cleans up and stuff, but you pay for her to go to school. She's your family. You understand what I'm saying? In those days, because remember, and there's lost in translation because there's Dutch people. Every European country was trying to get at Ghana. It was called the Gold Coast. It wasn't called Ghana. It was called the Gold Coast. You know what I'm saying? So there's Dutch, there's French, there's English. You know what I'm saying? All these different white people trying to divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they gave them this word called slave and misinterpreted it. So I said all that to say that when they actually started finding out what was happening to the slave, because I mean, they don't tell you stories. They give you Amistad, but they don't tell you about Amistads that never touched, that they killed all the shippers and turned the ship around and sailed back to Ghana. I sailed back to Nigeria or Mali. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they started hearing about this, Nani and her brother Kojo came from Ghana with warriors to free the slaves, ended up in Jamaica and fighting the 80 Years War. 80 years they couldn't touch the Maroons in the hills, the cockpit country of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I mean, I know you're probably gonna get to what's coming. So this is a preview to the what's coming question. There's definitely a film on the Maroons, but not focusing on Nani. We're trying to open up the eyes and show them about Kojo and Nani. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's really interesting because I don't think I've ever seen any type of documentary or TV series or anything that talks about the Maroons. Which is
there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there, even on YouTube, because I do a whole bunch of research. That's all I do. You know what I'm saying? I should get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? But I'll get paid from what comes out of the research. You know?
That's true. That is true.
And when it comes to researching the Maroons, there's a lot of documentaries out there. There's a lot of info on even them right now, what they're doing now, because they're doing some really powerful things because they're their own sovereign land. They, like I said, 80 Years War against the British, they are treated like natives are treated, you know? And the establishment recognizes them, and they've created their own money now. They have their own money at this time and period. They can trade with other nations right now. So and that's just a legacy that they've left from war, killing Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Haitians. Shout out to the Black Jacobins. Go check out that book. There's a book called The Black Jacobins. Go check it out. And this is the whole thing. This is another dream is to create a Black movie story from that time period showing resistance and make it as graphic and entertaining as Braveheart.
Oh, nice. Interesting. Okay.
This is why I'm shout out the guy, I forgot his name, but he made American Skin, and he also made Birth of a Nation, the Nat Turner story. So I mean, he just makes some. Nat Turner story is like the movie I wanted to make, So, but I'm still gonna make the Maroons because I have a Jamaican lineage, I have a Caribbean lineage that needs to be told. Our story needs to be told as well, So
exactly, and it will be nice to see our story told in the most biggest way possible because there's just so much in history. You know a lot about American history. It will be impactful to know a lot about Caribbean history, especially during the slavery time as well. So
Yeah, you know what? It's all about, because it when it comes to filmmaking, you need a team. You
yeah,
know, it's called a production team. Then you need a cast. So you need like two teams, and it's tough. It's tough to have a team without money.
that's
And
true.
the startups that they're giving, nobody's giving a film startup. A low budget film is $100,000. Um, and I'm sure that's the reason why there's not so much representation in the media, because it's the divide is poverty,
Yeah,
um, of financial ideas of how to make the money. I mean, Spike Lee did it back in the days. I mean, but everybody ain't Spike Lee. Um,
that's true.
Truthfully, I don't know who Spike Lee knew to be able to. Yeah, you're recycling credit cards, but I mean, there had to be a little bit more than that, to get those resources. And I'm still networking. I'm still growing. Um, like things like this is an opportunity for me to put the word out there that I'm actually looking for professional trained um, actors, production people that wanna help put out these stories that will inspire and enlighten our people, and because we know that media is so powerful in terms of suggestion and hypnotism and influence. So we got to create our own influencers.
That is so true. Uh, you spoke about work that you're coming out with soon in the future. Let's talk about a TV series called Life of the Dot. It was a TV series that had over 232,000 views on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it's about the street life, the Toronto street life. Can you tell us about your role in that project?
Yeah, I mean, shout out Life for the Dot, shout out all the cast members, Um, um, listen, sometimes, um, things happen and that are not planned. And so basically, this is what happened. Life of the Dot, I had a friend that was, he was telling me about, he had a friend that wrote a script, and, you know, and I'm like, I'm a director. I was going through things in life, sometimes you're not always happy. And I wasn't motivated at that time. But I said, if you got anything covered, I'll I'll direct it and shoot it. You got the cast, you got the script, you got the locations. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was like, I'll do it. Shoot, like I wasn't really like, you know, I got some skills, and I needed to use them at that time. Little did I know it was gonna like pull me out of my depression, and because I love doing this. You know what I mean? I love
Mhm.
figuring out the angles, editing, going through actors, telling the story. So, Life of the Dot. The brother came out of jail. He's in the pen for a whole bunch of years, and he came out and he had this story he wanted to tell. Trying to get back to the community, get back to the streets. So we put it together. The original idea, like as we're here on Business Takeout, I'm a businessman, so
Yeah,
I was thinking, okay, you got a nice script here, Life of the Dot. I love this. The title, everything was great. He had a nice picture, but I was like, let's make this money. So let's shoot 10-minute episodes and put it as a pilot, sell it to Netflix, Amazon. Um, uh, what's the next one? I don't care who.
hmm,
Somebody give us like 100,000. But this is what happens when, number one, when you don't understand the business.
hmm,
Number two, when you listen to people who don't understand the business, you know, um, you just start. It just started snowballing, because once you put that 10-minute pilot on YouTube, all the comments. start coming, and you know, a lot of us, our generation. I'm gonna say our generation. I describe us as pre-Drake generation,
Mm,
pre-Drake generation here in Toronto. That's 80, not 86. This girl got me on this 86ers. Shout out Howie. She got me saying 86ers and stuff. But it's like 2000, pre 2000.
mm-hmm.
We know how to compartmentalize, how to like, you know, everybody that is just following now. The post Drake, the post 2000s is a following generation, a generation that if they're doing it and it's working, we're gonna do it, and we got no shame. And so then it just became this chase to be like other YouTube web series. And I mean, I really appreciated Life of the Dots Drive. You know, homie said he wanted to do something and he's gonna push, and he pushed. He got the resources together. He got everything together. He did do that. I appreciate all that. You know, um, it's just the after. You know, there's always nuances with business and partnership. You know, and
That's true.
you know, and in the end, I know that I have a whole bunch of scripts like in front of me, you know what I'm saying, and working on. So it doesn't make sense that I stay over here and like aggravate a situation that can go on its own, and I can do my situation, and we can still be mutual, you
Yes.
know. And number one thing I want to see is more Black productions. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
We need
So
it.
if Life of the Dots over here pushing still, and I can come and bring another side of the Black culture to light in another production, then
Mm-hmm.
that just makes it better for all of us, you know? So, and that's what I'm doing right now is I'm actually working on a new web series. It's called Known to Police. If you close with the No Man's Land Theater Group, we did put on a main stage production at Young People's Theater downtown Toronto, and that was Known to Police. It's basically about police brutality in the community and how the community comes together to combat that police brutality. Some people are taking academic and systematic ways of fighting, and some people
Mm-hmm.
are taking the streets. And then the whole twist is that you know there's an undercover police officer living amongst them in this group. So it's a really it's and that's the thing that was missing from Life of the Dot was the positive messaging and the alternate social situations besides the gang male interaction.
Got it.
You know, I just want to show different social situations um,
Different.
besides gangsters. Another eat food, another pull up on you and bust gun. Like you know what I'm saying? Like when we can. I would personally like to see a show where we see what leads up to that. You know, those little intricacies in two Black men's relationships. You know, where they're not. Maybe he's not backing him in a situation. You know, like just a verbal argument with a girl, and you didn't back me, and he internalized that to another situation where he didn't back him, and now he internalized that. So now we both have four instances where we didn't back each other, and we internalized that. Now that turns to resent. Now we just don't like each other, you know.
And it
And
happens all the time.
but we don't see these in these gangster movies. We don't see that. All we see is I don't like that nigga. Run up on him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, I,
Yeah.
I definitely get it. So you started off, you went to university, you got some camera skills, you did we didn't touch on it, but you did raw entertainment or raw productions,
Yeah,
right?
Rob, that was my DJing time, you know.
And then you went you were a youth mentor. You paid back based on how you were brought up. You paid back to other youth. You did FAMTV. You talked about different projects that you did, the different TV series, whatnot. And I can tell from the passion in your voice that you really enjoy doing this. What's next for FAMTV?
I don't know, man. I'm getting impatient for this COVID thing because I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to go to
Yes.
Ghana. I got a lot of business in Ghana right now. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Ghana, I went to the Ghana Film Awards. So I have like 3/4 of a documentary that I need to finish. You know, I was at the Ghana Film Awards. I interviewed a whole bunch of producers and directors from companies in Ghana. Also, I interviewed people who were Canadian or American that moved to live in Ghana and what that process was like and what it's like there. And then finally, the music scene. The reggae and hip hop music scene in Ghana it's stupid crazy. Like I didn't want to leave, man. It was like, man, I don't got to leave here. I could live here, no problem. You know, and it's like, don't hate on Africa's infrastructure. They got this. They got everything we got. You know.
Yes. And we are running out of time. I just wanted to say, Andrae, that it's been a pleasure having you on the Takeout Effect. Thank you for being here. And
Thank you for having me so much. Like I've been seeing you grow and your entrepreneurship and your
yes,
connections and your networks, and I'm so proud of you.
thank
And you
you.
know what I'm saying? It's good to see because we know where you came from. You know where I came from, and you
Yes,
know we're leveling up, and it's good that I feel like you are a great role model for young women in our community to
thank
model
you.
after. So continue doing the great work that you're doing.
Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you everyone for tuning in today, and see you next week Thursday, the same time. For Feel free to share this video with your friends. It's available on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and thank you, Andrae, for being here today.
All
Bye,
right. Have a great day. Thank you. Big up Banki.
everyone.